Let's work. Let's see what's going on here. Perfect. Yeah, I guess we clocked in. Let's make sure the sound is good. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer, and technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And ultimately, what that simply means by you becoming in alignment with yourself, it's pretty much to enhance your consciousness, which is the name of the game. So I'll talk about that a lot more on my other channel, but in this channel here, what I mostly do here is I talk about certain quotes or wise saying. Now, those quotes, the reason why I have chosen to even do this is because, it reveals the true power of words, which is not necessarily in the meaning of the word, but it's how the word is being said. Because how the word's being said, that's how it allows you to reflect. And then the good thing about those quotations is that they are packed, fully loaded with a lot of wisdom. So now, with that being said, it's almost like the first thing is you hear the way it's being said, it helps you to reflect, and now you get into the wisdom. So, but anyway, with no further ado, but just so you know, our ancestors, they were the best at mind control. And when we're talking about mind control, I'm not referring to what we call today pretty much uh, um conditioning your thoughts or conditioning you to think a certain way, because that's what mind control truly is, meaning all of us been trained to see life only one way, and that's really what the mind control is. And for the most part, that's where I feel like mind control has a bad connotation, because ultimately what we're really talking about when you're talking about mind control is you to be in control of your own mind, and ultimately would lead to more consciousness. So that's why you have to be in charge of your mind. But anyway, hey, listen, this shit, I love those quotes. I mean, I love the word. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, and the words got to be made flesh. So here we are. That's why we're here. Hold on. See, man, what's up? Slow down, slow down, slow down. Let me work. Tell these people, let me work. Now, so the good thing about those quotes is that not only the way they are being said allows you to reflect on what's being said, and the experience that is fully packed into these things allow you don't necessarily have to go through it. So this is the only shortcut you're going to get in life. Then you could learn it from that life experience, and then that's how you enhance your consciousness. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. That's pretty much what we do here. And of course, as a spiritual healer, if you want to know more about what I do, in fact, I'll be having something else on my other channel tonight. You should check it out. I'll leave the link. But anyway, let's get into this one though. So as you see in the title, it tells you no one or no prophet is accepted in his own land or his own country. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but ultimately they're talking about the same thing. What this is truly saying is you are never truly appreciated by your own kind. But what does that mean? How do we even get to be saying something like this? Right? Because there we go. This is also the beauty of the occult and spirituality too. And also, but most importantly, the beauty of the truth, because we all have to be awakened to it. You got to see it for yourself. Just being in that environment means nothing. That's why this type of knowledge, you cannot attain it with just your intellect. It's not going to work. And even just your intellect too doesn't even work, because as part of your nature, your true nature is that no matter what you understand, you got to see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So the truth, you always got to discover it for yourself. And I'm pretty sure you probably heard a lot of shit that people will probably tell you when you were a little bit younger. I mean, you hear it. I'll give you a perfect example. For me, I used to hear all the time, man, if you need love, you know what I'm saying, you gotta love yourself. I used to hear that shit so much so that shit turned out to be cliche to me. Get the fuck out of here. And guess what? Now I'm the one saying it, but I had to see it for myself. So that's why too, to understand your true nature, and that's where those quotes plays a big part too. Because although, I mean, that's where it helps you to it triggers you a little bit, but ultimately, listen, you got to be in that space for you to grab it. There's no other way around that, and that's for everybody. I don't care how academically mature you are, because I know I've read books that I didn't understand until like literally probably a week ago. No, I mean I'm cloud. I mean I'm wilding for a second, but the point is, at the time when I was reading, and I do know my grammar, nigga. Oh, trust me. Don't let this accent shit fool you. You know what I'm saying? I speak motherfucking French, and I'm very good at it. Language in general, like not just languages. It's like, hey man, to what he's here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I understand, regardless on how academically your foundation, how good it is, you got to be in certain space to understand whatever the fuck it is. No matter how great of, let's just say, of a teacher that I am, there's no way, or in my opinion, I believe my son, who's 5 years old, is gonna get calculus right now. That's just my fucking opinion. But then again, I could be wrong. But let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So that statement there, no one or no prophet is accepted in his own country. That's a fully loaded statement. Because what this is telling you here, now let me start here, right? Let's be honest, guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to say, I mean, I just don't want to say 100% of us, because not 100% of us, but a good 9.99 of us came from what I call a dysfunctional family. Shit, including myself. Yes, motherfucker, including especially my ass. To be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just to make a long story short, to show you how dysfunctional my own mother is competing with me. Shit, even sent people to kill me. So I don't even have to say anything else on that. Just to emphasize, just to show you, whoo, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember I was watching this Beyonce documentary about, how they all came together. They were rehearsing in a fucking backyard, doing all that good shit. Their mother believed in them. I'm like, what? Where did they do that at? You know what I'm saying? That bitch is crazy. Nah, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? To a point where, I mean, I don't remember everything, but it's almost like she was on the edge of selling they have a salon, some type of business, right? I think it was a salon, if I'm not mistaken, or a studio, however you call it. You know what I'm saying? Where they were willing to sacrifice that just to push their kids. Oh, listen, man. Whew. Listen, those are the people who inspired me. And this is how it's going to be on my end. But I'm saying all of that to say, now having that as a background, and that goes for all of us. Now, there's something called black sheep, right? It's a terminology that is used maybe in a Christian, or let's just say in I don't know if it's an occultist term, but and even the occult too, just so you guys know, there's nothing about the occult. Like, it's not, the occult simply means, it simply is giving you a deeper understanding of who you are. That's all that is. It's telling you about the hidden side of you, to show you the complexity of who we are. But anyway, I had tons of videos on that, and I talk about that on my other channel. Let's but it's all good. I'm excited. I miss you, motherfuckers. What you want me to do? I mean, today? What the fuck? What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But showing you guys love. But anyway, So now, keeping in mind with that type of background, right? Because you can't give what you don't have. So here you are, but I also like to tell people that, I mean, I believe no one is a product of their environment. But do your environment has an influence on you? Fuck yeah. Yes, it does. But truly, your environment reveals your character. That's why there's a bunch of kids who lives in the fucking ghetto. No, not all of them are fucking gangster, nigga. In fact, I always talk about this. I was watching Derek, was it Derek? Derek or Derek, whatever his name is, Derek Rose. No disrespect, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I love this nigga game. This nigga game is flawless, right? He used to play for the Chicago. But to make a long story short, these niggas came in the hood. Like it ain't like you know what I'm saying because you have I mean like when I listen to LeBron James story right I mean I don't know if that nigga was living in the hood but it seems like her mother I mean his mother was doing their best kind of like just a regular apartment and shit like that but the hood nigga if you've never been to a project because nigga I was born I'm originally from Haiti like only time I'll ever been to a project yeah, nigga, that was in Brooklyn. I'm like, what? Like, hey, I've never seen anything like this, dog. And I'm from Haiti. I've been in the countryside of Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Not to say this is worse or whatever, but it's something else. It's something else. So that kind of take me back to I remember when I used to listen to Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? When Nas talking about those pissing elevators, that's how niggas are living. I mean, it's one thing if you don't have a motherfucking toilet and none of that shit. You could go in the fucking bushes and take a shit. But to live with that shit around you, niggas are shitting, peeing. Oh my nigga. I'm like, what? Come on now. That was new to me. It's new. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I had experienced that. But I'm saying all of that to say, right? A lot of times when we hear people talking about certain shit, you don't really know. Especially, you know what I'm saying, like a nigga like me. Like if these niggas are talking about the project, I never lived in the project, it was just, like, nah. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is where I'm going with this, right? So being in that environment, when we're looking at a guy like Derrick Rose, right, coming from that environment, a lot of people make it out. A lot of people make it out. But unfortunately, due to how they want you to think about the project, no one talks about that because you have a lot of people who had to work two jobs, what I'm saying, or move out of the hood. They had to do a lot for their kids, especially us immigrant motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit we had to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember even like shit, I used to have friends, right? So their mother had to send them back to fucking Haiti. So it was almost like it's like you just go to school, but the vacation part time, you're gonna go to Haiti. And the reason being was they were trying to steer them away from the whole gang culture, the whole. Anyway, to make a long story short, this is where I'm going with this, right? No one or no prophet is accepted in his own country. This is a fully loaded statement because this is reflecting a whole lot about us. So I touch a little bit about if you don't have anything you can't give what you don't have. That's another quote too. You know what I'm saying? So we're just having quotes on top of quotes, but the beauty of it all is just it's the power of the word, how it's being said, and how it triggered the consciousness. That's where I'm at with it. But anyway, let's get back to the conversation at hand, right? I mean, again, it's all connected too. So when you're looking at, a lot of us, right? So now understand that your environment may have an influence on you, but it doesn't reveal who you are. That's how you see a lot of people that come from the ghetto. And I say a lot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying they became successful, but a lot of them may not be in the same predicament. Or you would have niggas that came from the ghetto that actually made it. So the whole idea that you are a product of your environment, I get it. It does have some influence, but ultimately, when you know who you are, or as you develop your character, you know what I'm saying? That's not the case at all. Okay, so what does it has to do with everything? So here we are, being born, having certain set of skills, being who you are, and now being raised in certain environment. Like if I were to use myself, shit, I already told you a lot. You know what I'm saying? So being that kid who always wanted to learn more, be more, love instead of hate, because that's the family I came from. It's competition, it's hate, it's ignorance. So that automatically made me look like a black sheep because I wouldn't want to go with what was everybody else was saying. No, that's not in me. And I was very firm about that too, nigga. Now I get the fuck out of here. So automatically, he thinks it's better. Where that's not the case at all. Far from that. I'm just being who I am. I'm just expressing myself, delving into, the God given talent in me and experiencing that divinity in me. Why would I follow anybody or be like nobody else? Why would I not want love? I'm sorry. That's why I gotta talk my shit a little bit too. Cause I love love, nigga. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't make any sense. Being a nurturer, a hard worker, whatever the fuck you want to label that. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck not? Listen, man, I'm a quality guy, baby. We're not here to talk about me, but it's hard, as I'm talking about for this not to be personal. So understand, it's gonna be personal. You know what I'm saying? But this particular one, though, whew, it's a little heavy in terms of you know, um, and that's pretty much what all of us is going through. So the understanding of, no prophet is accepted in his own country. I want you to understand the foundation of that. The reason being, I don't know if you guys seen Chicken Little or Chicken Little Run. I can't recall it exactly. So that cartoon was more like on a general scale. But now imagine you, and again, I forgot to describe the term black sheep, right? So meaning you are born in a family, right? But there's something more that you're seeking for. And and here's something else too, man. Is that a God joke too, man? Because God be funny as fuck. All right, I'm gonna have you right over here. You know what I'm saying? That's why for me, a lot of my growth wasn't necessarily anything new that I had to grasp, but it was a lot of shit I had to get rid of. Oh, the cutoff game's got to be on point. You got to have it on point. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people, what you're truly doing is you are triggering their shadow self. And I already talk about that too. Now, the shadow self, to make a long story short, it's pretty much the aspect of you that you've been repressed. So when you see somebody being triggered, that is a perfect depiction of their shadow self. And at the time that they're being triggered or they're reacting a certain way, they're not even aware of it. And that's where a lot of us, we always tell these people they're not taking accountability. But which is true, it is true. But all I'm saying is a little deeper than that because you're dealing with something that's a lot more complex than just taking accountability. Because those of us who takes accountability, there's something else about us. We accept who the fuck we are, even if it's not to 100%. But at least like we're trying. So a lot of us like to throw the word accountability like it's just nah, nigga. It shows how valuable you are. You know what I'm saying? Keep the change. Keep the change. but all I'm saying is there's an internal work that has to take place. Then you could take accountability. And ultimately, I'm wishing whoever's watching this, once you take that accountability and start growing, I want you to get to that other side now where you'll say fuck accountability. Because now at that point, once you reach a master level, then you understand. No, 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 no. I needed all of that. So that's why I always tell people too, taking accountability is the beginning. It's the beginning stage. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's when you start putting everything in order, or you start to walk to a certain direction. So that's very much needed. I'm not shitting on it at all. We're just saying there's different levels, and I hope that you get there. Because baby, once you get there, nigga, listen, you gonna love it. But anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about here. So, what the fuck was I with this shit? Yeah, so I was talking about, you know, pretty much giving you, or breaking down, the reason why no one is accepted in their own country, or meaning no prophet is accepted in their own country because they wouldn't see your value, because not only that you have triggered their ego or their shadow self, not ego, but it's like you become the anomaly at this point. So now you're the problem. That's why, like I always tell people too, and this is just so you guys know, I'm gonna have the link. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a background of the conversation that I'll be talking about tonight, which will be posted on my other channel, which is L'Esprit. This one is to give to receive. So now, because I'll be talking about the personification of Christ and how important that is. But anyway, how does that relate to this? It relates to it because if you know the Jesus story, it was the Pharisees, the very people that he was around. Those were the people who was like, nah. Nah, nigga, you said what? And when you really think about it too, like, how would I know, like, God, Mary wasn't pregnant? I mean, it was God that was fucking Jesus. And I'm just gonna dumb it down to make a point. How would I know? All I know is I'm looking at another man, and this nigga's telling me he's God or he's the son of God. That's why I always tell niggas, if Jesus were to come back now, which he is, he will reject me. And you have. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But just know I'll be delving more into that, explaining, the reason why any God has to be you have to wow, what's the word? Person, personify all the gods. They got to. It's a must. This is part of mind control, but most importantly, this is to let you know that it is you. But I'll get more into that. But anyway, to get back to the whole country stuff, the prophet stuff, you are not being accepted, not necessarily because they hate you. I mean, it's going to turn into that. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. And do you guys ever see how ironic it is? How when we talking about Christians, right? They don't accept no other fucking religions, and then every other religion accept them. See, that right there is showing you the level. There's no person that I know who is spiritually mature who has a fucking issue with anybody's fucking religion. It's not going to happen. In fact, what we do, that's why I always tell people, being a spiritual being is a best human being because we learn how to have compassion. We learn not for me to impose myself to you into your life. Why the fuck would I want to do that? I'm comfortable with me. But other people, they you gotta have that control. So technically, this is what you're dealing with. And the reason why you'll never be accepted in your own country, that is because of the light that you have, the things that you're saying, they are not made of the same thing as you. Now, not to say, they're not spiritual, because everybody's spiritual, but the level of the light that you have in you, they don't have that. In fact, they choose, in addition to that, because I have lived this, like, for me, and I'll give you a perfect example, right? And it wasn't even people, so much of people telling me that I used to be stupid. It was just me started to catch up. I'm like, oh, okay. Why would I understand this? Let's just say 2 days later. I'm like, still, I'm like, damn, maybe I'm not as smart as I think I was. Then I started working on myself. Now, these niggas, they got the privilege for other people to tell them that they're stupid. Yeah, I'll be shit. If a nigga, but you know what? I used to sound good too. That's why they never told me that. But because I always wanted to learn. So the fact that I've always wanted to learn, I've always wanted to, so people when they see, okay, you going somewhere, young one, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers, they've been said numerous times that they're stupid. Guess what they do? People say I'm stupid. So what? Shit, I don't know. Everybody's different. But to get back to what I was saying, and just to tell you how fully loaded that is, because yes, it sounded that way, but it didn't really give you the little bit of background that you needed to understand why, as a prophet, or as a spiritualist, or as someone who's learning more. And you also got to understand this. I was watching, I can't recall this white man name, but everything he was talking about was everything that I went through. Like he said some shit about, and I love the way he said that too. It's like his parents wanted him to, it's like they wanted him to raise them. Because a lot of us were dealing with a lot of kids, who just, they're all in an older body, but they have a kid mentality. They still haven't discovered who they are. They haven't faced their fear. They only knew how to masquerade their fear. So they became very good, at lying, pretty much. Those are your Decepticons. Do you see what I'm saying? And those are, for lack of better terms, the opposition that you'll have to deal with as you are on your spiritual journey or your growth journey, period. Because again, I talk a lot more about that, but I'll talk about this here. Understand spirituality is everything. It's your life right here, right now. Because if you truly understand your nature, so what makes you spiritual is your true nature. We are thinking beings. Our intellect is what we know. That's how our lives are being shaped. That's why in this realm, the Indian call it Maya, which means illusion. It's not what it appears to be. It is not what it appears to be. In other words, if you would think even just to have a relationship, right? Two people love each other and that's it. Like they just get together. No, that's not true. Far from that. That's why I always like to tell people, man, don't just work on yourself before you look for relationship advice. Even to listen to somebody else, that entails a whole bunch of fucking work. To think critically, you got to become critical. Just to be a good listener, you got to be sharp. And there's a whole lot of shit that shit entails. Because now I have to listen to you. I got to see your body language because this is all expression of you. I got to know how to shut the fuck up and truly listen to you, not listening to you for the sake of myself, but what the fuck are you talking about? So, meaning I got to be biased by listening to you. So, to be a great listener alone, and it's just showing you the complexity of us, but showing you too, when you understand our true nature, like there's no way around spirituality. Now, on my other channel, I always, use that as a foundation to let people know, listen, man, like, we have a misconception of what spirituality is because we were trained to look at spirituality as something that's outside of us. We've been looking at it as something that is totally outside of all. It is. It's right there. It's not here. Or if we don't look at it that way, then we'll say, you know what? It's religion. It's this. It's that. But not taking into account our true nature. How do we function? How do we work? And that's when now you have the occult that comes in. When people are telling you you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. That goes for every fucking body, does it not? Okay, so it's a group of people that have conscious mind and subconscious mind? Nah, nigga, that's every fucking body. You know what I'm saying? That's every fucking body. And guess what, too? Even the law of manifestation, everybody. However, just like I always talk about, when it comes to certain things, we're not looking at, okay, so if I have a conscious mind, I have a subconscious mind, I could I have the power to manifest some of the shit that I love. I got to vibe at a certain level. So what the fuck does that say about me? So anyway, I guess just to summarize, spirituality is your regular life. This is you even when you're not being conscious, scratching your ass, just fucking, whatever the fuck the situation is, you dealing with more than just flesh and bones. That's why man is both visible and invisible. And when I say men, women too, I mean, you know how it is nowadays. It's my queens and my bitches too. You know what I'm saying? It's all you motherfuckers. But anyway, to get back to understand why you will never be, or I shouldn't say never, because it takes, just like Beyonce mother, what I'm saying, was different, but she had to work on herself. I remember watching this thing. I think it was Omarion that was talking about this, and then he was saying how he was encouraged at a very young age. And then I love the way he looked at it because his perspective was saying he was saying in general, right? The main difference truly is, you have parents that support you, not them supporting you. But that part that though it requires, for you to do your own work. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my daughter to do or my son to do what the fuck I did, or to be looked at certain. Nah, I want them to find who they are. Because I find me. And that's just beautiful, baby. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's better in person than what you're looking at. Trust me. Shit, we age like fine wine, baby. You know what I'm saying? Beauty couldn't be any beautiful than this, than what you're looking at. Oh shit, I'm a walking testimony, nigga. But anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's Saturday, niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm sipping. But anyway, I definitely wanted to share this with you guys, to let you, to pretty much share and expand a little bit why, no prophet is fully accepted in his own country or his own land. That has to do with, being in different spaces and but in addition of that, you are already the person that you are. and being no regardless on what circumstances you're being put on, those circumstances is going to reveal who you are. I told them I was beautiful. They thought I was lying. I said I talk too much. They said I'm chasing clouds. Never that. I just knew what this was. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I mean, if I were to chase cloud, that would just automatically take away from everything this is. Oh, I don't want to do that at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna shine like that little bright star that I am. What are we doing? I hope you can find your beauty, baby. But just so you know, on that journey, oh, listen, man. Woo! Hmm. It's that way. I was definitely that way. And it's something that you will learn to embrace and forgive them because they don't know any better. They don't know any better. But forgiving them doesn't mean you have to attach yourself. None of that shit. That's not what I'm saying. Forgiving them, it's for yourself. Forgiveness is always for you, no, not for nobody else. Because think about this: if I take poison, right, it's not gonna kill you; it's gonna kill me. That's why I shit. Why the fuck would I hate anybody? I'm the one who wouldn't be able to sleep or having all that shit. Nah, nigga, I'm too cool to catch cold, nigga. But I know who you are, though. I know who you are, though. See you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I got to move a certain way because I know you are. See you. You know what I'm saying? You thought you was walking in the shadow. Pick a boo, bitch. Or bitches. But in general, I mean, that's what you come to understand. And that's the beauty being in that, journey, which is to actualizing or materializing your divinity. But anyway, a lot's been said, and I don't want to keep this for too long because we want to keep it that way and expand a little bit on those quotes. But I strongly, highly recommend that you do that on your at your own pace, on your own time, because those quotes they allow you to expand your consciousness, and that's the name of the game. I sent Mali.